Hey, everybody, welcome to the MURCA Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. As always, this is just an open chat between me, my viewers. Ask me whatever you want to ask. It can be whatever topic you want to talk about. You can ask about guns. You can ask about politics. You can ask about religion. I don't care. There's no topic that's off the table. I'm here so that you can ask me whatever you want to ask me, know how I feel about things. That way I don't have to lie to you in my videos so that you'll support me. I'm not one of those people. I don't avoid topics so that you'll still support me. So if you want to know something, just ask. Also, if you want to call, and plus you're not only asking me, you're asking the group too. There's a group of people here that have a lot of knowledge. Feel free to ask. A lot of people will weigh in the live chat as well. But if you want to just know what I think, let me know. Also, if you want to challenge me on something, like you disagree with something I've said, you think I'm factually wrong, or you just disagree with my philosophy or my opinion, let me know. I love to be challenged on stuff like that. Makes the day worthwhile. So feel free. I don't get mad at people for challenging me. I don't look down on them. In fact, I respect people that have the bravery to stand up for their opinion, especially when it seems like the deck's stacked against them, like if you're coming on my channel and talking. But as always, I like to start the chat by reading people who have purchased merchandise, because merchandise sales goes to support primarily TYMP, but some of it supports pets and vets, because I put out that this month any shirt that has a mammal on the front of it, and yes, we're counting Eeyore, like on my Fuck Your Red Flag Laws shirt here. We're counting Eeyore as a mammal, even though he's stuffed. So if you bought this shirt out of the new section, it would count. I don't know. Is it in the new section? I think it might be. So I don't know for certain, but it might be. But I want to thank the people who ordered merch today. We got Buddy Angus Shepherd Jr. bought the People Piss Me Off shirt. You know, I love guns and animals, but people piss me off. You bought that shirt today? That is not in the new merch, though, so that does not support pets and vets. That supports TYMP. Robert Hurd, he ordered the Don't Point Your Glock at Your Cock shirt with the rooster. That's a mammal. No, it's not. It's not a mammal, so that don't count. That goes to TYMP. And Charles Williams, we discovered yesterday that's a bird. So. And then Charles Williams got the How I Always Wished Cartoons Had Ended shirt. You know, the one with well, it's a massacre. It's a bloodbath of the dead little characters like Tweety and Roadrunner and Jerry, which I don't really hate Roadrunner. I hate Jerry, and especially Tweety. Oh, I hate Tweety with passion. But I was surprised someone bought that shirt. It's very gruesome. And I haven't sold but like a couple of them. And that same person, Charles Williams, also got the very first of the I Support the Right to Arm Bears shirt. Just went up last night on the page. In case anyone out there is curious, I will put it up here. Let you see what it looks like. Hold on. That ain't right. That ain't what I wanted to do. Hold on. Boop. Fuck that up. There we go. Come on, open up. God damn it. It's just sitting and spinning. I don't know what's going on here. It's sitting and spinning. But not in a good way. Quit. How do I get preview to fucking quit? It won't quit. Hold on. Let me, boom. Force quit. Force quit. There we go. Now let's try to open this back up. Here's the t-shirt. Share screen, window. There's the new shirt. The I Support the Right to Arm Bears. Let me get rid of Snuffleupagus' chat right there. I Support the Right to Arm Bears. So that's the new shirt design over there. If you want that one, you know, got a little bear sitting there. And he's in his little steel pot, and he's got his grenade launcher. Because I could have just given him a rifle, but if you're going to arm a bear, do it right. They can handle it. They can handle the grenade launcher. Plus, he can just stick out on his shoulder and put his claw in the trigger. He doesn't have to hold it like a little small gun. I think he'd be able to use that better. So that's the new shirt over there if anybody wants that one. But we actually sold one. I haven't even advertised it yet. Well, I don't really advertise stuff, at least not very well, that's for sure. All right, let's get over here, see if we got any questions coming in. Oh, and I do have to read, we do have a new patron. I know I don't know what's going on, but we got a new patron. Gummy Wuzzle became a friend of the channel. So we'd like to welcome Gummy Wuzzle. At least that's better than Beep Bop Boop, who was the last person who joined Subscribestar. But let me go over here, see if we got any questions coming in. Thanks to those people. Oh, and if you want to join Subscribestar or Patreon, if you want to support Pets and Vets, join Subscribestar. If you want to support Patreon, or if you want to support Pets and Vets, join Patreon. If you want to support TYMP, join Subscribestar or buy merchandise other than stuff with a mammal on it, like this right here. And you can do all that stuff from TYMPPistolProject.com, listed right here. Just go to that website. You'll see all your options. So go on over there, become part of our little community. Heavy J weighed in and said, for everyone, what are your top 3 must-have guns? Oh, he's asking everyone out there what your top 3 must-have guns. That would be a good topic for one of our one of our chats. So why are you wasting it here? Wasteful. Let me get over to the other chats. He's asking everybody out there that. Let me see if I can find the transactions. Where are we at today? What is today's date? Today's the 13th, I think. Let's see. James Keefe. I always like to say, I almost say Queef every time. He chimed in. He didn't say nothing, though, but he paid his tithe to Phil, so he's got nothing to worry about, at least for another day or two. Tim Fasalami chimed in. Let's see what he said. Birds are not mammals. They are avas. I guess for like aviary and stuff like that. I'm not a biologist, dude. I took biology in high school, but I took college prep, so I never even took biology in college because I already had the credit. So I'm not not a zoologist either. I do know enough to know it's not zoology, it's zoology, but I'm not a zoologist either. I'm a psychologist. I deal with brains and human brains specifically. And to be honest, I specialized in abnormal psychology. So I'm more into that line. I don't know what a fucking bird is. I mean, I know what a bird is. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like if you showed me a bird, I recognize a bird. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. That was an order there from Robert Hurd. John Heasley chimed in and said, I sent you an email subject, Henry's. That's the one I couldn't find that I was looking for. I'll share that when I get to the emails. So where did it go? There it is right there. I saw that earlier and I didn't get it up here, but that now it's up in there for my emails. And then we got Dale Rickety chiming in. He's still awake. Huh. I got nothing. Well, it could be worse. You could have something. You could have a full diaper. That'd be worse than having nothing. I don't have one of those either. So, sent emails. I saw the cop with the DUI who had a warrant really sickens me. I didn't get that special treatment when I got mine. He, on the other hand, needs Bubba's. Yeah, they get very special treatment. Judges and police officers get the most treatment. You know why judges go light on DUIs? Because most of them have one. And they know if they don't have one, they're going to get one, or one of their buddies is going to get one. So they want to set a precedent of being, giving people a chance. They don't give regular people chance. They just give themselves chances and their friends chances. But they want a precedent of it being chances given so that when they get theirs, they get it off easy. That was Officer Tater Hater paying his tithe to Phil. His $2 tithe for today's chat. I like the Browning 1145 ACP. The gun changed the future of the world. I think the way he wrote it was Browning 1145 ACP. I think he means Browning 45 ACP. And yes, it did. That was one of the ones that was mentioned during the early chat today. And people were I think it got mentioned a few times today. So it definitely is one of the most historically significant. And that was Kenneth Donaldson, who put spaces in weird places in his text. It might have been a voice text. I notice mine does that sometimes. I think the Model 29 from Dirty Harry, also responding to today's chat earlier about the most historically significant handgun. I would say that gun's very historically significant. Everybody wanted a 44 Magnum after that gun. Everybody's like, I want a 44 Magnum. I want a 44 Magnum. And people didn't want them before. Not generally. It was considered a working gun. So it was considered overkill for a handgun. So, but after that gun came out, people changed that opinion. So I think it is of cultural and historic significance. So I will agree with them on that. Yankee Prepper chimed in, but just said something. He just paid his $2 tab to Phil. He didn't say anything. I don't know why. Maybe he hit the return too soon, but that was a good choice from John. It's John Heasley again. I don't like it when I agree with John Heasley, because we all know he's pure and unadulterated evil. All right, we got our last of our super chats here from Jacoby Crows. So you said ask any question about any topic. Okay, if you found a random pair of underwear in the city park, would you try them on, or is that a me thing? I could be kidding, which I am. Would I try them on if I found them in the park? Probably not. I probably wouldn't touch them. Like, unless they were in like the package. Or they were like hanging up, nicely to dry or something, maybe, but not if they're just like laying around. It's like if you find a brush in the park, or a comb, you don't use it if it's been on the ground. If it's like on a bench, yeah, that's fine. But if it's on the ground, no, we got class. We're civilized people. I think we got another order over here. Let's see, who was it? I just saw it pop up over there. It was Johnny Mandrick. What did he get? He got a bear. He got the I support the right to arm bears. He got a mug and a magnet, a car magnet. Because there's a car magnet of it over there. The I support the right to arm bears. So he supported pets and vets, because a bear is a mammal. A bear has nipples. So we know he's a mammal because he's got nipples. Oh, shit, I never put this on live chat. Let me move it over to live chat, and then I'll go back up as far as I can. Let's see here. Let me make sure I'm all caught up over here. Boom. Yep, John Mandrick's purchase was the last thing over there. Let me get over to the live chat, see what we got coming in. John Browning died before the high power was finished. Yes, he did. He died 1926, and the high powered was finished in 1934. Yeah. That was finished posthumously. I sent you an email with a question and pics. Oh, yeah, I got to do the emails. I skipped right over the emails. Hold on. Present. Share screen. Winder. John Heasley said, let me get rid of the Yankee Prepper here. Not get rid of him, but close his little window there. One of my racks of Henrys in the living room looks like it's above the television. I have a John Wayne Memorial Winchester up there in the same spot. It's got a few there. Is that which one is that? It looks like a Harley Davidson commemorative, but I'm not sure what it is. It's pretty. Got that nickel receiver with the engraving all over it. That one's pretty. The other two are more utilitarian. That's a big boy up there. So you can look at him while he's watching television. I got one above my TV too. It's by John Wayne. And then we got X Adam 1. Share screen. I saw this when it came in. He said, what would you rate this job from a 1 to 10 being the best? I see what looks like pitting from dust on the handguard and almost runny colors. I'm not sure what to think. I'm being charged $300 for this. It's not aluminum, so maybe it's normal for plastic. On that, that's what I was wondering on that front piece, if it's plastic, because that looks like what plastic comes out like sometimes. Because if you notice, the quality of their work on the actual gun is much better. I mean, that doesn't look bad at all. And I'm thinking that dust is just dust. It's probably on it afterwards. I'm not seeing like anything that I can pick out as actual pitting on the gun. I think it's just, you'd be surprised how the camera amplifies dust. The gun itself looks fine, but that guard, that looks like garbage. But that might just be because it's plastic. Maybe it looks like garbage, but when it's flat black, you don't notice it. I've seen some stuff like that before, that you don't notice it when it's one color or when it's matte. Like when I polished up that Desert Eagle and I first started polishing the strap, I was like, oh my God, did they ever even finish this gun? This is in horrible condition. Remember, I did the series on where I refinished my Desert Eagle. That was in such horrible condition for such an expensive gun. So I don't know if that's the case, and maybe that needed to be sanded. You know, like if you're going to paint like a plastic bumper on a car, sometimes they got a little texture to them. Even if they don't look like it, they look fine black. But then you paint them and you're like, oh, that's weird. So you have to sand them good first. That's most of the expense in painting a plastic bumper, is getting it sanded good first. So yeah, there's that whole idea there. So I don't know. On the body, it looks fairly good from what I can see, assuming that the things that are showing up in the picture are just, little particles of dust that have settled on the gun afterwards. And if you took an air gun to it, it would look fine. And the plastic, that's where I have some questions. That just doesn't look good. I don't think it looked like it ran. I mean, he probably used, what do you call them? Stencils to put this on. But I just, don't like that. All right, we got one. Anybody else disagree with me? Let me know. Anybody think it's good or bad, or is that just what plastic does? But I've Cerakoted plastic before. I've Cerakoted good plastic that is, nice and smooth, and I've had to cook it really slow because it's plastic. But it turned out all right. But I've also done plastic before that I thought would look fine when I Cerakoted it because it was for something else, not a gun. And then I'm like, no, this looks like garbage because of the texture of the plastic. So yeah, let me know what you all think out there. All right, I got one more email here. There it is, right there. Joe B says CZ Shadow 2 Emerald grip screws. He put some. I wish he'd have done a close-up picture of the. Well, here you can see it better in this picture. Here, hold on. Present, share screen, Winder. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Boom, boom, boom. See, look at how the dust stands out on it. But she's got the little emerald green, orange and the green look nice together. I like orange and green together. Very Halloweeny. Green for witches and orange for pumpkins and stuff. I think green, purple, orange, all those are spooky. That's what. But green and purple together, I think, are zombie colors. Whenever I see green and purple together, I think zombies. But I keep meaning to get me some of those nicer screws. If I ever got the compact, the CZ Shadow 2 compact, I'm definitely getting some aftermarket grips for it and or leave the gray ones, kind of the grayish ones on there, and get a nice jewel tone, like you did on yours. That would look good, I think. But what do I know? I don't know a whole lot. John Mandrick chimed in again here and said, I don't think the 1911 won anything. It was a weapon of last resort given to the officers and support staff. Oh, you'd be surprised. I've heard a lot of being raised by a World War II survivor. You fought with your rifle till your rifle was no more, and then you fought with your gun or whatever gun you could take off somebody dead next to you. So they played their part. Everybody thinks a lot of them were just ceremonial. No, they were meant to be used, and they got used quite a bit. So there was a lot of close combat fighting in World War II. That's kind of like the last time that was as big a deal as it was. We kind of got away from that in later conflicts. And nowadays, trench fighting is, not a thing anymore. Not really. It's like there's no front lines anymore. Remember how you used to always hear about the front line? There's no front lines anymore. I mean, there's areas of higher hostility than others, but combat can be anywhere at any time. That's one thing that's drilled into you nowadays. Let's see here. Where are we at? Jacoby says, you know that my trailer is too heavy for Phil. Nah, I don't think so. Ain't nothing too heavy for Phil. Phil could whack this planet away like a marble if he wanted to. You got to remember, he's holding the cosmic watermelon. I mean, people, if you look at the picture of Phil, he's holding the cosmic watermelon. Well, that watermelon is all of existence, not just our solar system or our universe or anything. It's all of existence in our dimensional plane. So our universe doesn't even make up a seed in that watermelon. So you think your trailer's too heavy? You just keep thinking that. That's kind of thinking it gets your trailer blown away just to prove a point. So I would be watching it with that blasphemous talk. I can't tolerate blasphemy. As Phil's appointed voice on this planet, I cannot tolerate blasphemy. And I can't encourage you to keep talking that stuff because it's just inviting trouble. That's what all it is. The most significant, get like significant, like Maleficent. I said significant. Gun ever made was the M&P 9L because it sparked my interest in firearms. Well, see, that would be a very specific reason why you think that one's very. That's narrowing it down even more so than most people did. Andrew P. said, "Going to read mine." What's he talking about? I don't see anything from Andrew P. I don't see anything. Did you hear the new P320 discharged itself on camera today? Nope, I didn't hear that at all. Of course, if anybody wanted to manufacture that happening, I mean, they could. But I hope they get sued. But I mean, I can make any gun I have here fire on camera without being done if I wanted to. Just take some creative engineering. But no, I haven't heard that nor seen it. Let's see. P320 fires on camera. Don't see anything about it. I see the one about the holster in the competition shooting. I love that. Oh, it just went off in a holster during competition. No one was touching their gun in the competition. Bullshit. Yeah, don't see anything. Think it would be bigger news, but I don't see it. This year I'll be celebrating the 4th of July 16 hours before you do, but maybe I'll get arrested for shooting fireworks on foreign soil. I don't think you'll be doing anything you're not supposed to do over there. They're pretty tight on stuff. It's like a friend of mine just moved to Norway, and I don't know what he did with his guns. I was like, why didn't you give them to me? Or if you were selling them, give me a chance to buy them. He didn't. And I know he didn't take them to Norway with him. I don't think you can take them with Norway. I have a YouTube channel, very sophomoric, but still, well, that's all YouTube channels are very sophomoric. Name one that isn't. The ones that think they aren't are the worst ones. Let's see here. Aaron Talks Firearms said the Colt single action army is the most significant firearm. 6 bullets more than enough to kill anything that moves. I don't know. A locomotive can move. I don't know if I'd be able to take out a locomotive with, but you can't really kill. Well, you can kill it to where it doesn't run, I guess. But most animals, yes. Let's see here. Back in 2018, Q said Kash Patel, a name to remember now. Kash Patel, he was a person back then. He was in the news back then too. They didn't say he was going to be the leader of the FBI. I probably said Kash Patel at one point in time in my life too. And I said the name Donald Trump before he ever became president. Does that make me Nostradamus? Because Q is definitely Nostradamus. Anybody that believes Q. And that includes you. If you believe stuff Q says, you're ridiculous because look at what you're having to grasp onto when everything else they've said has been proven false or never come to pass. Israel implicated in JFK documents, JFK gravesite shaped like a Q. That's none of that's true. Also, my brother just got a motorcycle. Any recommendation on avoiding potholes, getting ran over, and staying safe while driving? Well, how old is he? And did he start driving late in life? Because if he's over 35, my advice is don't start riding motorcycles. Most of these people you hear, oh, they died on their motorcycle day. You know, they started riding at 35, 40 years old because you're not going to develop the necessary um, reflexes after that age. I just don't see why people that age decide to get on a motorcycle for the first time. If he's young, the best advice I could give him is always keep his head on a swivel because people are not going to pay attention. Never assume someone knows he's there because even if they know you're there, assuming that they think you have the right to be there is not a safe assumption to make. I have many a times had to pop my clutch and zoom out of the way to keep from being rear-ended or hitting the back end by someone. I did it one time, had to do that at an underpass. I had to saw a car coming that wasn't going to stop. I had to pop my clutch and zip out of the way, and the car coming hit head on into the car behind me at full speed. So, and I just wrecked under the underpass. But you got to be paying attention. You don't ever take your mind off the drive while you're. It's like people getting these fancy radios and stuff in their helmets. I'm like, no, you don't. I don't listen to music when I'm driving. When I'm riding, I just ride and I pay attention to what's going on around me. It's called the American Beauty. It's a rose for my granddaughter's first gun. It's called the American. Oh, it's a rose. Okay. I thought it was a Harley Davidson gun. It looked like. I don't know that there's such thing as a Harley Davidson commemorative, but it didn't strike me as odd that there would be. If we don't solve the mental health crisis, we will lose our rights. Well, we're going to eventually lose our rights anyway, but the mental health crisis is going to speed along the death of our Second Amendment rights. I'm out of soda. I started drinking it too soon today. I started drinking it during the first part of the chat. Now I'm out of soda. Then we'll die of thirst. I can't be without soda. Sparks68 chimed in here and said, several metal cartridge cases with primers and smokeless powder. Okay. I'm not sure what he's saying there, but sounds good. Where was I? Let me make sure I'm caught up on all the supers because we're getting low on time. How much time we got left? We got 4 minutes left. And I got one I missed here. Christian Carlson. Yo, 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 yo. And he's paying by the yo here. But yo, I guess. I've never been a yo user. I mean, I've said yo, like yo, but I'm not a big yo guy. Like I'm not a big brother dude. Like some people say brother all the time. Or some people say man. I say man. I used to say man a lot. But I've always been a dude guy. Dude. Don't do that, dude. Especially if I'm angry. Like I'll like, dude, you want to back the fuck up. If I call you dude, I'm probably pissed. But what is it they call people? Everybody call each other nowadays. Not homeboy. What is it they use now? Bro. I've never said bro to anyone in my life. And I hope I don't, because it makes you sound like you're brain dead. Bro, my kids, when they were little, they go to school. I take them to like the open house at school when they're in the first grade, and everything's bro, bumping fist, bro, I tell you, bro. And I'm like, you're like 6. Stop it. I didn't say that, but it was like, oh my God, this is awful. I'm like, this is the way our parents felt like when we'd call everybody dude. I don't want my parents call people daddy-o. I guess, I don't know. Brother was real big when I was a little kid too. Hulk Hogan didn't create that. He just was, a symptom of that. George Powell never has ordered those shirts. I sent him the new link and he never ordered them. I wonder where he's at, what he's doing. Why is he not here? Asshole, not coming to the chat. Where was I at? Excuse me. Greenland and Canada to become part of the U.S. Have you been to either of those places? Or, well, I've been to Canada lots of times. I don't think I've ever been to Greenland. I don't think there was ever any reason for me to go to Greenland. And none of they aren't going to become part of the United States. I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially like if Greenland wanted to become a protectorate, at least like Puerto Rico or something. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I don't care. More Americans, the better. It's more land we'd have to defend, but it also gives us a strategic point of defense. So I'd be fine with them becoming one. We can't just go in and take them over. That whole nation building bullshit, that imperialism, I'm not going to support that. That's what fucking Russia's doing in the Ukraine. And then we're talking about doing it to another country. That kind of talk is dangerous, but I'm not opposed to them if the offer was extended to them and they willingly took it, which I don't think they're going to because of the way it was approached. Now, like 90% of them are steadfast against it. Only 60%, only 6% even would be open to the idea, according to polls. So I don't think it was approached properly. In Canada, they ain't going to become a state. I wish they would. I would even say I wish Canada would give us Victoria up to Vancouver, BC, Victoria up in Vancouver, BC. And we will make those two new states. And then as reparations, we will give them North and South Dakota. They can have North and South Dakota both. They can have both of them. And I think that'd be a fair trade. I'm okay with that. So if you live in North or South Dakota, well, either pack your bags or learn to speak Canuck. I don't care. I don't know what they speak up there. I know some of them speak French. Because you're not really serving us. You're not any use to the country. So bye-bye. We'll take Vancouver, BC and Victoria. Victoria's beautiful. Vancouver, BC is one of the busiest port areas in the world. Big economic center. North and South Dakota, what do they fucking do? Nothing. What do they make? Snow. We can get that everywhere else. So every time you see a chart, like states that contribute the least, it's always like North and South Dakota and Wyoming and stuff like that. So they can have Wyoming too. I think they touch. They can have Wyoming too. We'll sweeten the deal. We got to keep like Nevada, Arizona, and Texas and stuff because we got to have that connecting bridge from the east to the west coast. But they can have that whole swath down the middle. And we take Vancouver, BC. Hell, if we just took Vancouver, BC and gave them the entire Midwest pretty much, we'd still be ahead on the deal. People think, well, where all the food comes from? No, it doesn't. That's not where more food comes from California than all those states combined. So, yeah, we don't need them. Just sucking up our taxes. Sorry, if you live in North or South Dakota, bye. You should have contributed something. Should have made yourself useful. You didn't. You sat around like a bum for 100 and something years. So, fuck that. Get out. Go. Get a job or get. Let's see. I don't know how we got on that, but let's get back to the questions here. Make sure I'm still all caught up on the super chats because I think we're out of time. I think Christian Carlson was the last one, and I got that. We're going to sign off, and then we're going to do the drawing for the T-shirt. We're going to give away a T-shirt since this was the 100th episode. So hold on for that. But first, I want to say thanks to everybody for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks for contributing to the conversation. Thanks to everybody who bought merchandise or donated to Pets and Bets or did a super chat. I appreciate everything you do for the channel. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.